All right, Matrixx and Roadshow supporters. Well, my goodness. This is something that I don't think The View expected when they decided to have on New York City Mayor Eric Adams. Now, for the past several weeks, maybe even the past couple of months, you've noticed fractures from Eric Adams. And what I mean by that is you're noticing the beginning journey of somebody slowly but surely consuming the red pill. All right. Fed up with rhetoric, being targeted. He came out against the illegal aliens that were flooding New York. Biden administration went after him over that. I think it was pretty obvious. And Eric Adams went on The View. May God help his soul. But he went on The View today, and, well, much to the chagrin, much to the terror, horror that these hosts were subject to, much to their dismay, Eric Adams did not fall for their bullshit, lack of a better way of putting it. They tried to bait him into some kind of a, I mean, it's blatant. They all have, and we all know they have Trump derangement syndrome, but they tried to bait him into going after RFK Jr. and President Trump. And Eric Adams was not having it. He was not having it, and it's kind of glorious. We will look at reactions from American patriots to this clip, but this is what the early stages of red pilling looks like. Well, that doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. That doesn't seem right. You know what's funny? Is that Bill Maher just won't swallow it. Because, I mean, half of what he says on his show now is like, you do realize that aligns with blah, but he's got that Trump block on. And Bill Maher's got to get over that at some point, seriously. But this is sort of where it all started, by the way, for RFK Jr. and Tulsi Gabbard, and even John Fetterman is sounding strangely coherent lately and flashing common sense. Didn't see that coming. Since when do you have a stroke and get smarter? I don't know. Pretty shocking. Here we go with this clip.
So you heard us talking about RFK Jr. being the head of HHS. What do you think about that appointment?
The executives will nominate and bring in those who they believe will move their vision forward. And everything from the fluoride issue, I believe we should have fluoride in the water based on what my experts are telling me. But let's be clear, we have a real problem with our food in our country. And we need to watch what we're feeding our children. And
what is the major problem, do you think?
Too much hormones. You know, many people know my, you know, I almost lost my sight with diabetes. The doctor told me I would be blind in a year. I was going to lose my fingers and toes. And it was my food. It wasn't my DNA. It was my dinner.
But JFK Jr. RFK Jr. ate some pork and now he has a brain worm. Is he the person that should be in charge of that?
Yeah, well, let's
food?
Right, and let's understand this also. In all of these agencies, there are thousands of employees and experts that understand these topics, and there are rules, there are regulations.
Mayor, a lot of them want to resign. When they see some of the people that are going to be on top, I think there's going to be a mass exodus of people who have the institutional knowledge and the institutional memory and DOD at HHS. Who wants to work under a cook?
And let me respond to that. If we love our country, then no one individual should take us away from our mission.
Yes.
If you dedicated your life to a particular place, I dedicated my life to law enforcement. So if a new commissioner came in that I disagreed with, I was not going to say, I'm going to resign. Let's love the country. Let's love our cities. Let's get away from the rhetoric of the professionalism that we know. Those are experts in this. They're going to look at his proposal, do a real analysis, and make these decisions. It happens every day.
I mean, you don't hear that from many View guests, but that's what actual back and forth should sound like. It's hilarious. He's not taking the bait from them, and they're laying it out there real thick.
Background, at least. You should have some kind of background in this type of thing.
Let me just.
Yeah.
Okay, so Mayor, when Trump returns to office, he will actually have a lot of power with the Republican-controlled Senate and House. He's suggested at times using the National Guard to target the enemy within, and key members.
By the way, they are so flustered and frustrated right now. Joy Behar's face is priceless.
Members of his last administration called him a fascist, but you've defended him. Can you explain?
No, I defended the rhetoric that we're using across our country and what our children are listening to and what we're doing. We've reached a point in this country where we no longer want to engage in conversation. They were even calling him Hitler. That's an insult.
That was only his vice president.
That was an insult. That was an insult to the.
By the way, he didn't bite on that, and he didn't find it even the slightest bit cute. That was exactly the point he's trying to make, and these women are idiots.
Millions of Jews and others who died. We know what Hitler did. And what I said to our country, when I'm on the streets talking to my young people who are protesting on college campuses, wearing Hamas signs and calling for the destructions of groups, I said, we have to bring down this rhetoric. We have to start engaging in conversation. You know, Obama said it right, and I agree. This is not the divided state. This is the United States. We're the greatest country on the globe, and people are watching us and name calling.
But do you think Trump should have brought down the rhetoric? Because
Everybody should.
Well, let's start at the top then, because maybe it trickles down.
Everybody should.
Okay, so they tried to get him to bite. He wouldn't bite, and very professionally explained his points out to this. I mean, these women wake up deranged daily, unhinged. I mean, she brought up a brain worm, and he wasn't falling for it. He wasn't having it. I'm not taking this bait from you guys. And it's interesting. It really is. Even Eric Adams realizes the woke libs have lost their minds. Well, he finally figured it out when they targeted him. He looks like he's real tired of the BS. Well, you know, he campaigned on being more of a moderate, and I told Mr. Matrixx that I believe as soon as he got in office or he won it, somebody very high up got to him and said, you either fall in line or we're going to have problems. And I think you're seeing a little more of what I remember seeing a long while ago from Eric Adams. Eric Adams will switch to the Republican Party soon. I think it's interesting. This person says, I don't understand how these women aren't being sued. Adams shocks the view by not following their anti-Trump script. That's right. That's right. I mean, he's not falling for it. I do think he's wrong about fluoride, but okay. The View is an absolute joke. Eric Adams is on the MAGA train. I did not see that coming. I did a few weeks ago. It's slowly but surely starting to happen. I mean, honestly. You know, the people on The View are insane when even the New York City mayor is defending Trump. They have to be so secretly furious. I mean, there's a point in here before, let me see. I want you to look at Behar's face. Right there. She's troubled. Oh no. This guest did not follow the script the way we were hoping. He's not backing us. He's not falling in line. No, he's not going to. He's not going to. This person says it's amazing to watch, believing Adams is based. And I saw in here somebody said that they suspect that by the time we get to 2028, it's going to be one of those situations where Eric Adams, much like Tulsi, is actually at the RNC. Now, whether or not it goes that far, I don't know. But he's clearly not playing their game. I don't know how this show has remained on television. I do not. It's got to get some ratings from somebody, or I do have another theory, and I think it's why Rachel Maddow is still on, and the Joy Reids, and this, that, and the other. These networks are terrified of these women doing something to them. And we know the media, if The View got canceled tomorrow, the mainstream media would lose their minds. And, you got a person of color, two people of color on the show. You got all women, you got a Latino on there. And it would become ABC's racist, Disney's racist, blah, blah, blah. So they just let horrible television remain on. And they can just sit on there and continue to spit their venom and their lies. Eric Adams wasn't falling for it. It's a beautiful thing. It really is. Tell me what you think. I love it when anybody on The View gets mad and the whole damn panel was pissed. Awesome. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.